Rule number one of fixing and flipping is never trust your contractor, no matter what they say. Because you can take a $100,000 fix and flip, the perfect fix and flip, and wipe all those profits away by trusting your contractor. Let's meet Heather, co-living queen of the East Coast. She's building a property and her contractor made one fatal mistake. You see this book right here? This is a list of all the reasons why you should not trust your contractor, and unfortunately, Heather trusted hers. Her contractor ended up building the property over the property line. What the hell happened?
So he didn't technically build the property over the property lines. So some new codes came out where the existing structure can stay, but if you do an addition, you have to make it smaller on the back side of the house. So I guess he wasn't up on that. And so he built the addition in line with the original home.
And he actually did a good job.
That was the second issue. The first issue was that he didn't finish the application for the permit. So we got a stop work order.
What's a stop work order, Heather, for people that don't know?
A stop work order is when city officials, the code officials, they come and they see you working on your property, and then they don't see that you've applied for a building permit to do what you're doing to that property. So they'll come and put this big orange sign on the front of your door that says stop work.
It's the stickiest damn thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yes.
You gotta take it off with a razor blade. I'm like, guys, like, where are you guys getting these stickers? Like, holy, they're like tattoos. Like, you can't get them off.
Yeah.
So you got a stop work order. Where's it at right now? What are you doing with it right now?
So right now the permit is approved and we've passed a couple of the inspections with the city. So now we're back on track. Well, we're not on track, but you know,
You're back.
We're back working.
You're back to working. You're back moving forward. You were originally going to make 100 grand on this. How much are you gonna make now?
Maybe 40.
Oh, hey.
It's still a win, right?
Are you kidding me? If you make 4 grand, it's a win.
Right.
Like, hell yeah. Congrats on pivoting and getting it figured out. I mean, the story's not over, but what would you have done differently if you could do it all over again?
I would trust but verify.
Trust but verify. This is a weird one though. Like, just as I don't know the whole context, my team does, because I actually believe I'm the lender on the deal.
You are.
And my team will probably know more than me, but I look at that and I'm like, how do you verify? A contractor goes, yep, I got it. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm doing the permit.
Well, I know for sure I could have
verified he had
where's the building permit? Why is it not in the window?
Right.
Like,
yeah, okay,
I wasn't diligent
one.
enough. Like, I was just, trusting them because we've done flips before.
Well, and then also when somebody's a licensed contractor, you assume, right? You assume a lot of things. And I always tell this weird story to people. I know it's weird. I get it. Before you tell me in the comments it's weird, I know it's weird. But when my wife was having our first baby, she would go to the gynecologist and the gynecologist would say stuff, her OBGYN would say stuff like, oh, well, this is going on. And my wife would leave going, that's not what's going on. I have a feeling that's not what's going on. And I go, why don't we go get a second opinion? She's like, no, this is my doctor forever. I'm gonna keep going to this doctor. I'm like, babe, go to a different doctor. Sure enough, goes to a different doctor and that doctor like, they said, what? Here's what's really going on. My wife says, that's it, that's 100% it. And it just reminds me, always get a second opinion, always verify. Just because somebody's a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, an MBA, a this, that, or the other, or even a licensed real estate agent, just assume that everybody is lying and that you need to verify, verify, verify. And sadly, Heather's had a relationship with this guy for a long time. You can't even trust the guy that you've had a long relationship with. It doesn't mean he's a bad guy. It just means he's busy building houses that he hasn't had the time to go to all the classes of all the new building codes that they've done. So Heather's figuring it out.
Yep, it's figured out. We're moving forward.
40 grand, bro. That's good.
You still made something, right?
If you make $40,000, that's a big deal. Like most in Arizona, if I make 40 grand, I am so happy.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are spoiled out here on the East Coast. Apparently, I'll make $100,000 on all your flips.
All right, Heather, take us through this place.
Okay. So this is the original part of the house. I mean, this was the house.
So
this was it. Like this where you see the old wood.
Yeah.
Like this was the whole house.
Okay.
Top and bottom, first and second floor. But this now is gonna be like the living area here.
How many square feet was the original house?
1,100.
1,100. Did it have the 2 stories, or was it just?
It was 2 stories.
2 stories. Okay.
It was 2 bed and 1 bath.
Okay.
And now it's gonna be 4. and 2. Yeah, so the original plan is always to add value. How can we add value to this? So it was, of course, like this, the kitchen was like, it just looks so different now. I can't even imagine how it used to be. But it was like the kitchen was like really small in a small area. The living room was like right there. And there's like, it was just really tight. So I was like, how can we make this bigger? So nowadays people have like a master on the first floor or at least a bedroom on the first floor. And so that's what we decided to do. It's like give it a first floor bedroom.
What's the kitchen over there?
This is the kitchen. Like the kitchen was here, but it was just super small. Like it was like really, really small, like a tiny stove.
Open or was it like sectioned?
It was closed off.
Oh, okay.
It was like right outside of the porch, or like the porch was right outside of the kitchen. Like it was like really tight, really small.
Is this a new wall that you guys are putting in right here?
This is all new. All this new. All of this is new.
So walk us through, like, this is the new addition piece, correct?
Yeah, this is the new addition. So over here is the bedroom that we added. All of this is new. Bathroom here. What I told the contractor to do is make it to where they can get to the bathroom from this bedroom.
Yeah.
And then they can still, like any guest that come in can still use this bathroom.
So the stairs were...
The stairs are all new. Okay. Everything was like falling apart. Like everything was falling apart. Everything. The ceilings were falling down. Everything.
How much did you guys get the house for?
$60,000.
When was it originally built?
Oh, this is over 100 years old.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
So this is like the laundry space here. Washer, dryer will go here.
I can see the difference.
The
in the wood.
Yeah. It's safe. It's safe.
Okay.
This is the bathroom here. And then this is a bedroom. This is one thing that I always forgot was doing a linen closet. So I didn't forget this time.
Nice.
Like a hallway linen. This bedroom was already here.
Okay.
This bedroom was already here. So it was only 2 bedrooms. This was the end of the house.
Oh, wow.
And then this is the addition back here. Another like master bedroom with a bathroom
huge.
Inside.
So did this have to be taken in or no?
Yes, this is smaller for sure.
Okay.
And you can tell once we go outside, you'll see the difference.
Got it.
Of the width of the house from the original part.
Still a solid bedroom.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work.
It'll work. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Very cool. Does this typically when you're doing flips, what's your typical like a value add that you typically go for? Is it adding additions to it?
Yeah, if it's space.
For space.
Sometimes the houses are big enough, they're just not laid out, to where they use the space right. Yeah, section off a lot of walls and stuff like that. Usually with these older homes, it's usually like 1 bathroom. And so it's like always, okay, let's see how we can add a bath and a half. Let's see how we can get an extra bedroom. And so that's the angle that we go. And it always...
What would you say like you do better than anybody else in the game trying to do flips around this area?
It's really the finishes.
Really? Okay.
It's the finishes. I don't want to say everybody knows which ones I do because I don't do it that much. Like I'm no Joel Fortune. I just pick good finishes. Like it's always like a matte black. It might be a little gold, a little white, a little blue. Instead of just the same
old white. White
Yeah. So I try to give it a little,
flavor.
A little flavor, make it nice.
Is the blue outside what's painted? Is that your color choice?
No.
No, is that just the original color?
No, all that's new.
All that's new.
Everything is like new, pretty much, except the wood that you see. But the siding choice, I didn't really care too much about. I care more about the inside, the finishes. Yeah.
Was Pace ever made aware of kind of like the contracting issues?
Yes.
What did he have to say about it?
Well, I guess not Pace in particular, his team.
Molly, everyone.
Heather, Kiddo, and Jade. So they was like, they were cheering me on. He was like, Heather, you got this. Like, cause I was like panicking. I was like, oh my God. But they were cheering me on, like, Heather, you got this. Like, you can figure it out. Like, we're here. Like, we work together. Cause the loan is due So we worked together to kind of come up with a plan to make it work. They were willing to work with me, and so they were supportive, still are supportive.
I can't wait to tell Pace, so because him being an ex-contractor, he'd be the first to tell you.
Oh man, Pace is gonna get on me like, what the heck,
That'll be fun.
Like,
It'll be fun.
What is wrong with you?
All right, what do you want to show us next? You want to show us the outside?
Yeah, let's look at the outside, so you guys can see difference. So if you look up top, you can see the
I
difference.
can see that that's the kind of had to go a little.
And if you step out back here, you can really see the difference. You see how it has to be smaller up top?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we had to bring it all the way in.
So you lost like 3 feet on each side.
Yes. So one side only had 1 foot before it got to the lot line. The other side was 2 feet, and it had to be 5 feet on each side.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, it still looks great, but dang, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
So then I guess the downstairs would be to consider the master.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with the backyard?
You should have saw this backyard. It was like a junkyard.
I can
whole
imagine.
Truck out here. It was sheds out here. It was stuff piled up, but it was covered. Like you couldn't even walk through here.
Are you gonna do a deck or something all the way out, or?
No, budget won't allow.
True.
Budget will not allow for anything extra.
Okay. Maybe just the fencing or something.
But we definitely gonna have fencing all the way around.
Interesting trees and stuff back here too.
Heather, I know you're doing a lot of co-living and you're a great leader over here, not just in the East, you're a great leader nationwide. People love you and adore you, and I've known you for a very long time. What do you want the audience to know you need more of? More private money, more contractors, more permits? What do you need?
I need more private money.
More private money, okay, and you want more private money for building, more private money for co-living. What are you using it for?
Both fix and flips as well as for co-living. So how I do my co-living with my lenders is I'll have a private money lender come in to help me acquire the property, add the walls, furnish the properties, and then I'll switch them out with a PMP because PMPs don't like to wait for their
That's
cash
so
flow.
smart, Heather.
Thank
I
you.
love that.
So that's how I do my co-living.
That's really smart. So what she's saying is private money lenders want interest today. Private money partners want profit that are distributions. And if you tell them, hey, you're my partner, but I'm gonna go do this renovation and you're not gonna get paid any money for 3 or 4 months, private money partners get a little bit impatient. So she's using private money lenders. They get the project done. They receive their interest along the way. She swaps them out with private money partners that wanna own equity and are cool with distributions, not interest payments, but they want their payments to start faster. That's really smart.
Yep. Thank you.
I freaking love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And how can people reach out to you?
They can reach me on Instagram at co-living-queen. And if you're an email person, you can email me at info@investing.com.
She said that like if you email, you're an old person. If you're like an email person, email this girl, DM her, whatever you guys got to do. Heather is awesome. And co-living properties are taking over the country. I'm telling you. Whether you're a private money lender or private money partner, look at doing deals with Heather. And we'll see you guys in another episode.